Hi, I'm DebDedrick, High Performance Life and Business Coach, here with episode 136, How to Remember What You Wanted to Be When You Grow Up. Yeah, I'm already grown up and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be, and it's been a journey for me to try to remember what I wanted to be when I grew up because I kind of forgot about it. And so today's episode is to help you revisit in your mind's eye what you wanted to be when you grew up, to figure out if you got where you wanted to be, and if you don't want to be there, let's redirect and go a different direction, okay? So let's get right into episode number 136. So, if you are getting on in life like I am, I'm a little bit older now, it might be harder for you than maybe a 20-year-old to remember what you wanted to be when you grew up. And I found that when I was trying to remember what I wanted to be when I grew up, that I was really having difficulty remembering what I wanted to be. And because I had to go way, way back. And the way I figured that out was, and it's taken me a lot of time. So you're not going to wake up tomorrow and remember what you wanted to be, especially if you are older, and especially if maybe you never really thought about it much. And so this will give you a framework that worked for me that will work for you. Number one, remember it takes time to go back in time, and whatever you're going to remember isn't going to be exactly like it was, because as you've gotten experiences and you've had relationships, and I mean, you can't remember last week what you had for dinner last Monday night, can you? So how are you going to be able to remember what you really wanted to be when you grew up? But that's okay. I think this will still work because it's worked for me. So the first thing you're going to have to do is cut through all the crap. And what do I mean by that? You're going to have to cut through the bad experiences, the setbacks, the things that maybe came against you that colored your confidence or destroyed or eroded your confidence. And then you're going to have to identify limiting beliefs that are holding you back, that might prevent you from going back in time. And you're going to have to identify those repeated negative interpersonal relationships that might have eroded your confidence. And I'm going on my own experience. So when I was in my 20s, I didn't have a lot of experience, and I didn't have a lot of limiting beliefs, and I didn't have a lot of bad interpersonal relationships. Or I don't like bad, but I didn't have a lot of experience with interpersonal relationships professionally or personally that had repeatedly gone on for a long, long time, that eroded my confidence, that now looking back, I can see that's exactly what happened to me. So remember, A, it's going to take you time, and B, you're going to need to take more time to go through your life and identify where you might have gone off course. And then identify those relationships that might continue to keep you off course, and identify maybe how you're going to extricate, eradicate, whatever, how you're going to get out of those relationships. Number three, you have to, if you're going to get in touch with yourself, you have to go somewhere quiet, and you have to be alone, and you have to be without distractions. You have to, it's like kind of like going inside your mind, and you're getting to know yourself again. And you can't get to know yourself. And I really didn't take a great deal of time when I was young to do this. And I don't think most of us do. So don't beat yourself up if you're starting new with this. But I don't think a lot of us take the time to get to know ourselves. And like I've said before, the only person you go through life with always is yourself. So why not spend that time to get to know yourself the best, and without judgment? Because if you're not happy, you're not happy, and that's okay. If you didn't become what you wanted to be when you were younger, that's okay. You still have time. You can still redirect. But that's going to take time. It's going to take persistence. It's going to take dedication and determination. And it's going to take the ability to overcome procrastination and the opinion of others who might hold you back. Those are all things that I have come across that get in the way of becoming who I really want to be. And so what I did was I went somewhere every day and I got quiet, and I've done this for months and months and months. Every day, it's like a routine. It's just like an athlete that gets in the mood to go out and perform, how they get themselves in the right mindset. They have triggers to trigger their best behavior. The same for you finding out who your best you is. So I would go sit somewhere quietly. I would be alone. I would close my eyes. I would do this the same time every day, and I would allow myself to go into my mind's eye and revisit those experiences I had when I was a kid, and what I enjoyed and what I didn't enjoy, and what my natural abilities were and where I shined. And I began to see repeating patterns. And for me, it was I loved to be in clubs. You know, I was a Girl Scout. I was a first class Girl Scout. I liked to be in sports. I was on a soccer team, and I was the left wing. And I liked to play tennis. I played tennis for years and years and years, and I got really good at it. And I liked being a part of a team. So there was a kind of an underlying thing that I really liked. I liked being part of a group. I liked being in sports. I liked being outside. I liked being outside every day. I liked music. I played the flute and I played the piano. Those were things I really loved. Artwork. I loved to paint. I loved to do artwork and draw and doodle. And I think the most important thing I got back in touch was I wanted to be a teacher and I wanted to write books. And I completely forgot about all those things. And if I hadn't taken the time to cut through all the crap I said earlier, I would have forgotten all these things. And so now that I've discovered these things or rediscovered them, I'm carving out time every day in my day to do some of these things. I can't do the artwork right now, but I can definitely get outside. I can definitely get on my Peloton and work out and get in the best shape of. I can have these videos to practice my teaching and my coaching and my writing. All of these things I'm putting into my day is the things that are most important to me, so I can step into becoming the best person for me that I want to be. And so at the end of my life, when I get back and look back over it, I can say, high five self, I did what I really wanted. And I want to touch a little bit on the eroded confidence, because that was a big thing in my life, and it could be in yours. And I had got locked into negative mind loops that were keeping me stuck in the same repeating patterns of behavior. And I had to break through those, and I had to rebuild my confidence from the inside out. And the way I rebuilt my confidence was I got rid of the external factors that were hurting me and staying in my way. But more importantly, I started listening to what I was saying to myself in my mind to myself. And when I saw something or heard something I was saying to myself that was negative, I said, no, that's not true. And I would go back in my mind where I was very successful and I had finished through and accomplished my goals. And that worked to replace that negative limiting belief with a positive I can do uh, belief. And what I also did was I applied the theory of auto suggestion. And in my mind, I would repeat, I can do it, I can do it, I can do anything. And then I would go in my mind and I'd think about, okay, everything I've really set my mind to in my life, I've had the ability to accomplish. Now, granted, it didn't happen quickly. So for those of you thinking these are quick fixes, there are no quick fixes in life. If you want success, you have to decide, and then you have to be persistent, and you have to listen to your internal voice and not what other people are going to tell you, the negative naysayers. And you'll find, going back over how to find out what you want to be when you grow up, if you go through these steps that I just said to you. And I'll go back over them really quickly. Remember, it takes time. Nothing good in life happened quickly, and if it did, it probably didn't last. Number two, you have to cut through all of the crap, and I mean the bad experiences and the setbacks, the limiting beliefs, that those interpersonal relationships, personal or professionally, that eroded your self-confidence, and get rid of those. Get rid of those people. And if you're married to that kind of a person or you're working with that kind of person, I'm not saying get a divorce. What I'm saying is maybe you could uh, find a way to avoid bringing up those conversations that erode your confidence. We'll touch more on that later, but for you to rediscover who you want to be when you grow up, you're going to have to build your inner beliefs and your confidence. Number three, go somewhere quiet repeatedly over and over, preferably at the same time every day, and repeat going into your mind's eye and closing your eyes and traveling back in your mind to when you were little and young before you had any experiences or limiting experiences or conversations or relationships that would have set the tone. And if you had abusive relationships in your childhood, that's a whole nother topic. But think about what you love to do, what you gravitated to doing, and start to think about how you could implement those into your day-to-day life now. And you can begin to craft your life in a way where you become that person that you wanted to be when you were a little kid now, and how you can build your life around that now so you can step into the best you. You can develop your natural talents and abilities, and you can begin to flex your confidence muscle, and you can begin to create a happier life. As your high performance life and business coach, it's my mission to give you ideas and ways of looking at life that maybe you haven't ever seen before or haven't heard about. So you can implement, you have to implement. You can't just read about it. You have to do the work, you have to implement. And as you implement, you'll find you'll be able to have a happier business because a happy person creates a happier work environment if it's your business or at work. And it also carries over into your personal life. So thank you so much for joining me today on episode 136, how to remember what you really wanted to be when you grew up and the frameworks that you need to utilize so you can begin to step into that. You know, we're getting ready to start the new year. I'm starting a brand new, exciting podcast at the very beginning of this year. I'm so excited about it. I hope you'll join me over there where I give you even more detailed ways for you to create a successful life and business transition so you can create a happy life, build a stronger business or career, and leave a legacy for your family. So thanks again for joining me. I'll see you on my next tip. Have a great day. Talk to you later.